Well, it's week 7 of the LCS, and I'm joined right now by Meteos, who just took down TSM along with Optic. Of course, this coverage brought to you by Alienware. So, Meteos, first off, going into that match, is it ever weird? I feel like the community puts so much hype around TSM, no matter how they're doing. Do you ever feel that when you're playing them or facing them?
I don't think so. I don't really feel any different from any other match, but I think they've just been a fan favorite for a long time, so it makes sense that people are really going to care how they're doing and stuff, but I don't think it affects how I play.
Well, Optic seems to be swinging up. What do you attribute the recent success to?
We tried a little bit different practice this week, just how we wanted to review our games, because I think not everyone was happy with how we were reviewing after scrims, and we weren't learning as much as maybe we could. So we were just trying a different format where we sort of broke up into different groups for review, between Zab, who's doing part of the review, and then Croissant is doing another part, and we'd have people review at different times, different people. So it seems to have worked pretty decently. I think by the end of the week we were pretty comfortable with what we were doing, and we were trying to be a lot more disciplined in practice because I actually think we're a good team for sure, but we have the curse of scrims where we just really run it down sometimes, and I think we were just losing out on too many opportunities to really improve because we'd go into a scrim and we just full solo queue it, and so yeah, it's something that it'll happen to every team at some point. It's hard to be disciplined all the time, but I think we were really trying to focus on that this week because I know for me personally, I feel really bad when any team I'm on plays like that because it almost feels disrespectful to your opponents. It's I want to give them as close to an LCS experience as possible in the hopes that they do the same for us. But when we're the ones griefing it, then I'm just shit, these guys aren't going to want to play with us again. So I just think we had really good practice this last week.
Yeah, why do you think it is that you sometimes have a hard time in scrims, really getting the practice that you want?
It can be a variety of factors. I think a big one is that when people are learning new champions, there's only so much brain power any given player can have. And so when you're playing a champion you're super comfortable on, it's easy to look at the map, think about everything that's going on. But when you're on new champions, a lot of times, first of all, you don't really know your limits. So there's always memes about limit testing and stuff, when you go in and kill yourself. But aside from that, it's when I'm starting a new champion, I played Sylas for the first time competitively. And when I was first playing him in scrims, it was I felt like my jungle tracking, my map awareness, everything was just off because I had to put a little bit more focus toward my actual clear and that kind of thing. So I think that can definitely play a part. Also, sometimes people just stay up too late watching LCK, so they're just dead tired in the morning and their brain's not fully on. So those are probably the biggest factors, either just limit testing or just not being in perfect mental condition.
But it seems like things have resolved now. Do you think you'll be able to maintain this practice schedule and move in? Because now it looks like you guys are going to make it to playoffs.
Well, historically, our team has a good record of not making playoffs. So I don't know. It's too early to say for sure. I don't think anyone's feeling comfortable yet. It would be a huge accomplishment for the team. So I don't know. I think that results are super dependent not only on what we're doing, but what our opponents are doing too. Sure. So all we can really do is just try to keep our heads down, work as hard as possible, which I'm doing. Just trying to be as good of a teammate as I can. Try to point out things that we can improve on in our play. Try to find things that I can improve on my play for sure. And yeah, we're just gonna keep working, see how it goes.
Since you just played them, I know a lot of people will be asking what's going on with TSM because they're starting to look a little messy. And I'm kind of curious if you had any impression based off of that game.
Well, we don't scrim TSM a whole lot, so I wouldn't say we have the greatest read on them as a team. I think that in their game today, they kind of messed up their draft somewhere. I thought their team comp was pretty bad. They just ended up with a team comp that had no CC whatsoever. And when you have a comp like that, I don't know how you can win. If any kill turns out, if you could otherwise kill someone, if you don't have lockdown, you just flash out at 1 HP every time. Right. And then it's okay, how you do win fights with no CC. So I think that was probably a pretty big issue for them today. And then, our lanes were just playing great. I feel like everyone on my team won their lane. while I'm on a champion that can't pressure that much early game. So yeah, just really good play by my teammates for sure.
Is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
As always, thanks for the support and keep cheering for us so we can make playoffs.
Well, thank you so much, Meteos, for the interview, and congrats on the win today. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel.
Another day, another interview from Travis Gafford brought to you by Alienware. I honestly don't know how you guys sit through them. It's all just the same. Travis asking, what was the game like from your perspective? I don't know, Travis. What was the game like from your perspective? Have you ever thought about that? Have you?